So, I did a thing, and I can confidently say that it was a mistake. Persona 5 was my favorite game of all time for a long time and for a lot of reasons, so it only makes sense that a game that only enhanced on it and its characters took the crown. It's a game rich with story and amazing gameplay mechanics that entrains you very, very quickly. Its main fight mechanic being personas, hence the title, in which there is a vast variety of these spirit-like beings that you can select from based on the situation in order to best defeat your opponent. I beat Persona 5 Royale on hard difficulty with about 130 hours, which is kind of long compared to some people, but nonetheless. So my big monkey brain decided it was a good idea to fight the final boss on Merciless mode, which is the hardest difficulty without my party members. And as you will soon find out, this is much, much harder than it sounds. So before we get started, I should explain some things about the combat in the game for those that have never experienced it, because that's probably pretty important to watch this video. So you play as Joker, the leader of the Phantom Thieves, and you fight alongside your choice of 3 of your teammates. Every member has one persona with a different skill set based on different elements, except for Joker, who can hold multiple personas that you can create for your different needs. I should also mention here that one party member, Futaba, is support and you can't unequip her, so that's why she's kind of doing things in the fights. Sorry. An important part of the combat is weaknesses. Each party member and enemy shadows have different strengths and weaknesses based off the elements that they use. For example, a shadow with ice powers is usually weak to fire and yada yada yada. And whenever you hit someone with a weakness, they hit the floor and you get a one more, where you can hit again or baton pass to another party member, in which they do extra damage and can, kind of do that cycle. This baton pass mechanic is very, very useful and apparently integral for the final boss fight, but, that's alright. Anyway, that's about all you need to know, so let's get into it, shall we? So let's talk about my strategy going into this. I had none, and I soon realized that won't do. No. Our opponent is Dr. Maruki, whom is also in possession of a persona, and this persona has tentacles, which protect him. And as the smooth brain little man I am, I just started attacking him. Over, and over, and over, and over, and over again. But when you know, the tentacles regrow. Every single turn. And to my dismay, he with relative ease rocked my shit. Alright, it's just the first attempt, it's all good. Let's do this again. That attempt was good for one thing, and that's that I learned some of its weaknesses. So at this point, I went to look for a persona that had an ability for each of its weaknesses. I ended up getting this little guy, which is a treasure persona, and as you can see, he's got all kinds of abilities, so it's perfect. And then I remembered you can't fight with them. They're only used for persona fusion. So I searched some more, and after way too long, I realized I had one on me the entire time. I went in once again with a persona called Fafnir, who had wind, nuclear, and physical moves, the weaknesses of the separate tentacles. finally started to do some damage to him by taking out the tentacles, then switching to Izanagi no Okami, the strongest persona in the game, to hit him directly. After a relentless attack, I finally got him to the second stage of the boss fight. The only thing that really changed was that he had some stronger moves, and this thing in the corner which would randomly take away one aspect of the fight for me, like I can't use magic skills or I can't cure myself, stuff like that. At this point, I was starting to feel defeated, pretty fairly, and I was barely doing anything to him, and it seemed kinda pointless. And boy was I right. This is where it begins. The pain begins. I began to try over and over, getting to varying stages in the fight, but dying all the same. All hope seemed lost. I couldn't do anything to him. Fafnir just wasn't good enough and didn't have all the perks that Izanagi did. But then I remembered. There was one hope. Skill cards. Skill cards are an aspect of the game I never got into and I felt wasn't too important. It's where you teach your personas different skills, unsurprisingly, hence the name, and unbeknownst to me, it was the one thing that could save me. The different tentacles had wind, nuclear, and physical weaknesses, like I said earlier. But I realized the ones that were weak to wind were also weak to lightning, which Izanagi had an ability for. And then inspiration struck. I searched my inventory, and there it was, a nuclear skill card. I had to sacrifice an ability, but I gave it to Izanagi and tried for one more attempt. With relative ease, I got up to the second stage and was feeling confident. A big obstacle, though, was my SP, which allows me to use magic skills. It kept running out and I had limited items to replenish it, and even through all of this, I was seemingly doing nothing to his health. And then he healed. He fucking healed! But I kept going. I kept hitting him on in a never-ending cycle of pain and suffering and hatred and sadness and... Wait. His persona. His persona's health was... kinda... low. Holy shit. It had hit me. If I could kill his persona, I could win. And once more, I regained my will to fight and I kept going. It was my first attempt with this new moveset. I could do it. I knew I could. I believe we can fly up in the sky. One day we may just be able to touch down on the star. Off the road we have to go. The romance plans we shall. At this point, it was like clockwork. Just hit his tentacles in the specific order, then hit him with everything I have. Simple. I'm in the home stretch now. His persona's health is insanely low. Just a few more hits and I'll be golden. I could taste victory. It was in my grasp. I was so close. But no. It was right out of arm's reach. Joker! Why? This isn't happening! It would have been too simple, huh? At this point, I begin to spiral downwards into never-ending despair. I fought him again and again, to right around the same point, but died every single time. I even made a brand new persona whose only purpose was to heal me, and boy oh boy was she helpful, kind of, sometimes. And on that first attempt with her, after another like 25 minutes of a single fight, I got right back to where I was, on the cusp of victory. fucking died! That move did too much damage. There was only one hope for me. One single hope. My Persona Izanagi had an ability, but when I die, my health would be fully restored just one time per fight. Earlier, in those last fights, I had died previously early on and came back, so when the move hit me, it was already used, or I was on a different Persona who didn't have that ability. So I just had to make it all the way there without using it. I made one final attempt. I had been doing this for 4 hours at this point, and I was getting kind of done. I thought I could do it, but early in the fight I died and came back, using up the second chance ability I had. I kept going anyway, just hopefully I could avoid the attack and win. I was so close, so unbelievably close. That should have killed him, but no, I was unlucky. I had lost. Or so I thought. Futaba has a move where she completely negates an attack that will kill Joker, but it's random and few and far between. But, by some strike of gold, she did it just at the right moment, and I stole victory right from beneath his feet.
Let's go. You're mine. Come! All will be revealed! Not bad. I have the thought!
Finally, his persona can't.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Not bad. Azathoth. Did I fail?
Yes. Yes, you did. However, I had failed to mention there was a third stage in the fight.
Isn't that?
Oh.
No, you can't be serious.
Oh no, he's hot!
He's done it. He evolved his persona.
Such strength of will. If it is for everyone's happiness, I don't care what happens to me. Don't resist. Accept it. With my power. No. With mine and Adam Cadmon's together, our reality is nigh! Persona guides me. I refuse to let it end like this. Adam Cadmon, guide us all to our ideal reality.
When it loaded in, I had my teammates again, and I could feel myself ease. I took those first two stages as my completion of the challenge, and now, I just had to beat his ass. Oh, boy, oh boy, this is gonna be fun!
How about this we go? Don't you know? No more art. And as I look to the horizon, not a cloud, but then stormy weather's go too cold. Seems like it breaks up out of nowhere, all around you is not what you foretold. You never see it coming. You
We beat him pretty easily with the power of friendship. Now, after this, he basically fuses with his persona and just starts absolutely destroying the team. And what follows is the most badass cutscene ever created by man.
His head is his weak spot. Though our attacks are ineffective in his normal state. But whenever he attacks, he drops his guard while concentrating all of his power. So if we can target his head as he strikes, we might have a shot.
We've come this far. We ain't gonna give up.
Yeah! You gotta do way better than this!
Don't underestimate our tenacity!
It's just another threat.
We'll overcome it like we always do! If I run now, I know I'll regret it! We'll decide for ourselves what we want our lives to be!
I'm a bit occupied, so do your goddamn job!
Oracle, how does it look? Perfect! His head's defense level has dropped down to 0%! Go for it! Finish this, Joker!
Hey buddy? Yeah, buddy? Go to hell.
Checkmate.
And then, after all the blood, sweat, and tears, the hours of turmoil, the countless amount of deaths, my favorite part comes, where I get to beat the shit out of him with my bare hands.
I have lost. Even if I were to try that fight over, I'm sure I'd only lose again. So I know, this is going to sound pretty stupid. I've been holding this all in for so long, just hiding it from myself. So, please, help me kill every last one of my regrets. You're the only one I can ask to help me with this. The disappearance of my palace, of the entire metaverse, is drawing near. Seems like neither of us can summon our personas anymore. Let's begin. I gave up everything! Everything! So why? Why? Why, Rumi? A reality where no one suffers. I'm done. I get it now. All thanks to you.
When I tell you this was the most satisfying thing I've ever done, I mean that. That right there was hours of blood, sweat, and tears packed into those fists. And even though this probably took off years of my life, it was really fun to successfully beat such a challenging task. So I might do something similar again in the future. Or not. Because I would like to live past the age of 35.